sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerge from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Into the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The credit that sack to Robert Quinn. And the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
And that one complete to Stephon Sullivan. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Joe Burrow in year number 2, moving around pretty good considering the seriousness of his injury last year. If you're a defensive coordinator here, what do you try to do to slow Joe Burrow down?
I think you want him to be in rhythm. I think you want him to be on time. And normally, you want to take that away from a quarterback, make him hold it a little bit longer. But when he has a chance to maneuver around the pocket, sometimes get out of it, big plays result. I want him throwing the ball on time and then tackling the receivers so there's no extra yardage.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Bears take over. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And off comes to Montgomery. And some room to roam now. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. The CD, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category, and that deserves a couple exclamation points. The point after through the raindrops, up and good, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bengals drive about to get going. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. This defense for the Bears, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Throw left side, complete to Moss. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. This defense for the Bears, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On first down, it's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Fields. That is caught by Cohen. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
A good throw there, and this is a quarterback who's still just getting his feet wet, obviously. And by most accounts, last week played okay in the victory. But I want to know, Charles, what was your impression of his play last week?
Brandon, I think a lot of teams will be happy with okay, and early on, it's less about how many touchdowns did he throw, but did he not throw interceptions? Did he handle adversity? Did he handle the huddle? Those types of things. That's what people are looking for.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, this defense for the Bears, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. This defense for the Bears, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. Coming up on 2nd and 7. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Now Montgomery running right. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next? And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. But just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then because he'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, That's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield, and oftentimes the QB ends up on his backside as he did there.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
I would say just add that one to the total big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
Mixon with a first down carry. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Burrow will throw. This is caught. It's Boyd. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And Tyler Boyd's one of those guys that seems to fly under the radar, but he finds ways to get open, and he has nice hands. He's averaged right around 80 catches a year his last 3 seasons.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Joe Mixon,
his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Back to throw. Fields. A throw left side taken in by Kmet.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Fields to Kmet there for a Chicago first.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A give. This is Montgomery. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Fields. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. It's a gain of 35.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. They run. Montgomery. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Montgomery. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Here's Fields on the sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Justin Fields, his 4th touchdown on the year, and the Bears will extend their lead. Well, this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On 1st down, Mixon. He gets away from 1. And some space here. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And they get 17 more on that one and another 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. T. Higgins is the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
A shotgun snap, Fields. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Graham. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now it's Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
As we all know, a big priority for Cincinnati in 2021 is building up the line on both sides of the ball. They want to protect Joe Burrow on the offensive side, but the defense as a whole only produced 17 sacks last year, the lowest total in the NFL. So getting to the quarterback, as we just saw there, that's a nice sign for the Bengals.
So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
These two teams currently going over their final halftime adjustments. We are just about set to get back to it in the second half. And for the call, let's go back to Soldier Field and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
At the 18-yard line.
Now Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Play action. It's Fields. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Montgomery back to the ground. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Off play action. Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. We're glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10. Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Darnell Mooney, the target there. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Throwing again is Fields. And that is incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same, because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Mixon. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. 3rd down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. Hey, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Airing one out for Boyd. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 109 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He's got Mason complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Well, they've certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
Fields on first down.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
Tyler Shelvin able to get him for a loss of about 3.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now left side on the swing pass. Give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
From the gun on third down, Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he will have the Bears first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Fields on target to Mooney. First down, Chicago. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
On the carry, it's Montgomery. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Bears are on their way to a 2-0 start.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, if he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. Steps away to his left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Montgomery. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
130 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play. We're able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
2nd and 9.
On the ground, it's Montgomery. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here's Fields.
Caught out left side by Robinson. Touchdown! Allen Robinson. A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Bears are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
His first career touchdown pass, and yeah, it's cliche to say, but he's probably been envisioning this since he was a little kid. That's a cool moment.
It really is. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, celebrate, save the full reflection for later, but make sure you grab someone on the sidelines and say, hey, make sure I get that football, okay?
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. From the 30 on 2nd down, Burrow. This is caught. It's Boyd. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. To throw on 2nd and 10. Burrow forced out to his left. Throw left side complete to Chase. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. Flush to his right. He gets this one to Boyd. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
T. Higgins was the intended target.
And that'll bring up 2nd down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
Here's Moss with a catch out of the backfield.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. A final shot now for Burrow. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. And the kick here is good, so add 3 to the total, but they're still coming up well short, and that is how this one comes to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Chicago, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns.